Hey everybody, Mike with Games Play Badly, and on today's episode of Imperium for Initiates, we are going through magazine number 2. Magazine number 2 comes with a whole bunch of cool stuff in it, and Jeff's right around the corner, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff with Games Play Badly. I have here Warhammer Imperium magazine number 2. I'm going to go ahead and open this bad boy up and we'll take a look at this. Magazine 2 comes with 3 Necron Warriors. Let me get this bad boy open. I guess I should have opened that up earlier. So, interesting. Okay. So we get a starter brush, looks like 3 bases, a paint. I'm going to assume it's that Canoptic or Runelord brass, that's it. Runelord brass, okay. Also 3 bases, 1, 2, 3, okay, perfect. And we get our 3 Necrons, okay. Not bad at all. I've put together probably 30 Necrons so far, so these should not be too bad. I'll probably save one of these for Susie to put together. Oh, and here is our starter brush. Let's see the tip. Not bad. Okay, so here is magazine 2. In my previous take, my phone rang, so I do apologize for that. So as you can see, this magazine's covering, it looks like mainly Necrons right now, with based on the front. I do love the fact that you can name your characters. I think that's neat. Get a little bit more of the narrative into it. I think that's just really cool. I like the way they do that and the way these magazines are set up so far with just the 2 I've got. Then we got the Silent King, a little bit of the Ultramarines here. I love the lore that they're putting in here. This will be neat to read. So, we're real fun anyway. Ooh, how to build. So that's cool. They give you the how to build instructions like they do in magazine 1. So issue 2's got it broken down to where you can put together your Necrons here. So that's pretty cool, all 3 of them. This is what they'll look like when they're done, so that's neat. From this to that, so that's cool. How to paint. Well, we did just get our first paint, so that's neat. I do love the fact that they've got this set up to where, you know, as paint comes, you can start painting your minis, and that's kind of the way we're going to do it, is to as we get paint, we'll be able to use those paints, but nothing else, just based on like my vast collection. I have all the paints I think I would need to paint up my Space Marines. Just, you know, that's kind of my main army of what I do. I've got 6 of them on my desk right now. Preparing to paint. I do like the way they've got it broken down here, you know, going from the pot to your palette. I think the palette's important. I use a regular palette, and then I use my wet palette. So I just use a little cheapie from Formula P3 wet palette. I think I'm going to get one of those Red Grass game ones. I like that. Of course, we're not sponsored, so if you hear this, Red Grass, I'd love one. How to paint the Royal Warden, how to paint your guys. So first coat, second coat, third coat. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Then we got playthrough, so that's neat. So I know Mike and Sean did their first playthrough. Susan and I are going to do the first playthrough. And then we're going to record our actual playthrough using what looks like my Space Marine Lieutenant and her 3 Necrons. So that'll be pretty cool. Just to see how this goes. Ooh, good. This one's a longer one, so I like that. And then the back page. And issue 3, which I have. So that's pretty cool, but Mike and Sean will be doing that one. And when we get magazine 4, Susie and I will be doing that one. So that's pretty cool. So for now, that's what I've got until I get these little bad boys put together and we get a playthrough going. All right. Let's see if I can do this with the dogs going crazy upstairs. Number 1.
What?
Maybe I can get these all spray painted along with the other 20 warriors I have. Boy, that dog's going crazy. I hope I remember to put a cap, or a, oh, what's that called? A thingy in there to capture all this. I don't remember what a thingy is. A little card. You can tell I'm professional. There is number one. So, number one. Alright. We'll get them all cut out. So, I'll put this right here. There's number one. Let's see number two.
So we're just going to speed these videos up a little bit. You don't need to see everything, but Jeff's an accomplished Warhammer miniature painter, and he has assembled a whole bunch of these, so he makes it look really easy. For those of us who just started doing this, it's not quite as easy, but it shouldn't be too difficult. He knows some of the more advanced techniques as far as cleaning up the mold lines and getting things to fit, and I defer to him when it comes to stuff like that. I'm just doing what I see in the book. It makes more sense to me, and also I want you to see what happens when we follow the actual book. We can examine the pitfalls of some of the techniques that they're describing.
I want to see if it takes me the full 35 minutes it took Sean. It probably will, especially since I'm going to trim these pieces up. And there's still the debate between Sue and I what we're going to color them. I think it's going to be that Rune, Lord Brass, and pink. So that should be interesting. But if she wants it, that'll be cool. I think what I'll try to do tonight is get these all pinned up, all primed, and then I'll get the dry brush of Rune Lord on, along with the dry brush of the, or not dry brush, get them all, the Ultramarines done up from issue 1. So that way we can play a few games up to this issue, and then I'll get going on issue 3. And I will follow the how to put them together on the magazine, so it makes a little more sense. But I want to get these torn apart and scrape before I do that. Like I said, I put together about, I put together like 30 of these before. I've got 10 completely painted, and I'm proud of them. They look good. But that's for my Necron army. So now I've got to get the other 20 primed up, since we had no black primer at Walmart for about 3 months. One of my sons came home with 2 cans of it for me, so that worked out real well. So now I'll get those primed up. And that will be nice, because then I can get going on those. Because I know at the very end, what Mike and Sean and Susie would like to do is kind of have like an Armageddon battle, and I think that would be really, really neat. Especially with all the Space Marines on the table. And then all the Necrons on the table. And it'll be neat to see, you know, how it goes. And for Sean, he's going to paint them up exactly like the magazine, and I know Mike will be doing that too. To paint them kind of in accordance with how we get our paints. So it'll give me time to work on my stuff and not have to solely focus on just this. You kind of get a break as the paints are coming in. So that'll be neat. There we go, good next to the other guys. says issue 4 is going to, or issue 4, 5, 6, and 7 is going to be shipping here soon. And I see that people in Florida have already got their second shipment, so that'll be nice to get ours. Although it has been kind of nice that they're slow here in the States, just because it gives you a chance to stay caught up on it or on top of it. I mean, far too often I see too many, YouTubers, they get behind on it, which I can totally understand, especially when you have your own projects going on. Okay. Now they're all done, and gotta glue them together. Sorry about my dog. Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way. Get this guy in here. Hopefully he's right where he needs to be. Alright, so I am gonna be gluing these even though they are push fit. I don't care. Alright, number 1 done. In. Sweet. Then I'm gonna let the glue dry on these bad boys a little bit. Okay. So there's all 3 of them. Sweet.
So as Sean's finishing up his assembly, it took him a little bit longer and he had some issues getting some of those parts to hang on and all sorts of stuff. Turns out if you actually look at the directions, it helps. So, and one of the things that Jeff alludes to, and Sean actually did already, is he primed these miniatures. And so we use just a rattle can primer, and we primed them in black. You can prime them in white or whatever other color you want. And it's gonna help with the paint adhering to the model, and it's something that I highly recommend. Now, something that Jeff is doing that I did not, and Sean and I did not do, is we did not glue our models together. We just used the pins. So that is something that is optional, but I would recommend it because we've had things fall off at the table because things just don't fit quite right, or they're a little loose. So if you want to go through and secure your miniatures, which again I would recommend, go ahead and get yourself a plastic glue. Citadel makes some glue as well. Actually go online, just look up plastic glue. So you want something that is made specifically for plastic models. So go ahead and get that stuff and you guys should be good to go. One other thing that Jeff does do that I didn't do initially is he's cleaning up his sprue lines. And so basically what ends up happening is when you take those models off the sprues, you'll have some deformation there. He's using a blade to just go ahead and scrape through that and cut that off. So I've started doing that as well. And Sean's miniatures don't really require it too much because he likes to have those little blemishes in there. I mean, the Necron's been buried for 1,000,000 years or whatever it is. So they're not going to be pristine. So he kind of likes that look. So he's going to do his own thing. So those are just some things I wanted to point out to you.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.